I'm leaving for Spain tomorrow, and I've been preparing for this for 329 days right now to prepare myself. And the best I've got is like I can ask someone if their dog takes a shower, right? Like I don't quite understand.
My nemesis in Chinese is the word hot. The word hot for Chinese, I know what it is. I can spell it. Every time I have to say it, I'm saying it. And if anyone knows Chinese, it's like, I think it's "here" is how you say it. "Here," it's like and I keep saying it, and it'll nothing. And then it'll say it's wrong. And then it'll tell me what it is. And it says "here." It says the exact same thing. I'm like, that's what I said. Hey everyone, it's Mike and Zak back with another Educators Mathcast, and you may, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you may be noticing that we have an app on our screen as well. So this is, you don't have to see this to enjoy the podcast, but what you are seeing, if you aren't able to see it, what you could see is that we have Duolingo up. So it's a math cast, but we're going to actually talk about learning through Duolingo, and sort of Zak and I are both sort of in the Duolingo world, right? Zak, you are crushing me with your streaks. How many? I can't even read that. What's your streak at?
Yeah. 329 as of today, 329 days.
That's impressive. I'm kind of locked in at 91, so Zak is well ahead of me. But we've both been enjoying this app, and we've been talking about things that we really enjoy. My username is Mike and Cora because I do this with my daughter, and we're learning not just Chinese, we're learning chess and French and Spanish and lots of different things. And so Zak and I got talking about what things we like about Duolingo in terms of from the teaching and learning perspective, and things that we think where it's missing, it's lacking, it's just it's not perfect, right? And so we thought this would be a great way for us to take this conversation to you all, especially if any of you use Duolingo, and to kind of do an analysis of this from an educator perspective. And Zak, let's since you are way further into Duolingo than I am, what are some things you love about it?
Yeah, first off, if you're on Duolingo, come find Mike and I. We'd love to connect with you there. Say hi. You know, I haven't quite figured the social aspect out of it yet, but apparently, you know, you can follow people and keep up with what they're doing. So maybe that's your thing. Come find us. We'd love to share our that space with you. Mike, number one, and I know you'll agree with this, but number one, I am incredibly motivated by a streak. You put a streak on me, and I have to, like, something I have to do every day. I'm going to show up and do it no matter what. I don't care what kind of day, what day you're having or whatever. I don't miss it. And so for me, it is an incredible motivator to learn. So that's the first thing I think it does really, really well. And it's really good about sending kind of funny notes. If I haven't done my Duolingo for the day, I get a little push notification on my phone. I allow those to come through. If you have a streak with someone else, you know, and they can nudge you, and it sends a really sarcastic comment from them to you. It's like auto-generated, but I find them really funny. So as a motivator, that's number one for me. How about you? What stands out to you, and what makes you like Duolingo? What makes you feel good about the way it helps us learn?
I think what I like is that it's varied. Like, it really does. The practice is not the same. It's not redundant. It's very quick. And I think that's a big part of it, is it wants it to be welcoming. So there's an easy on-ramp for any language or music or chess or whatever lessons you're taking. It's really accessible. And I think it's not just for me. Like, I could see it like, oh, wow, I've got a nice way into Chinese, and it was not intimidating at all. But I'm doing this with my 7-year-old daughter, and we started it like when she was 6, and it was amazing to watch her get into Spanish and French, and how excited she is with it, because it's very positive. So there's, like, even when you make mistakes, it's not this like you're wrong, like try again. It's very encouraging, and I think I really love that aspect of it. It makes the learning enjoyable, makes the practice enjoyable.
Yeah, speaking of that, Mike, I think recently they made the explain my mistake a free option, or not a paid option anymore, which I really like. So, like, if I make a mistake, it does give me the red screen, which sometimes does bother me. But then there's like explain my mistake, and I can go figure out what I did wrong. Usually for me, it's like a verb tense thing, and I'm like, that's where I am awful at Spanish.
Yeah.
Is the, how to what tense the verb needs to be in. And I keep telling myself, like, I may sound like I'm not. I'm gonna sound like I'm not from Spain when I'm there anyway. But like I keep telling myself, if I get the tense of the verb wrong, I can communicate, right? Like
Right.
so I get kind of mad at Duolingo sometimes. But then I'm like, oh, I would have been fine if I'd have said "sown" instead of "so" or whatever. Or "say"
Yeah.
like I'm like they didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah, it's funny. I like, and we don't need to just start with like we can kind of bounce between, because I think sometimes the things that we like can also have some problematic things. So like
Sure.
what you just mentioned, like a feedback is immediate, right? So if we
Yeah.
think about what we know about good practice has immediate feedback. The sooner you get any kind of informative feedback, it can really help you. And with that, what I find is that the feedback often with Duolingo can be binary feedback, right or wrong, right? There is that explain your mistake. When you do Chinese, though, explain your mistake is in Hanzi. So it's all symbolic. And with so there's, just real quick, so there's like, when you're learning Chinese, so you've got the symbolic way, the Hanzi way, and then you also have what's known as pinyin, which is, it's our alphabet, but it's spelled out in a way that's, I guess, phonetic or something, so you could read it, but it doesn't even have pinyin. It's just symbols. So like, explain my mistake's useless to me because I can't read it. I don't know the symbols as strongly yet. So I just know I got it wrong. And so there's some things where I guess it depends on the language of which, like,
Yeah.
where you can get more feedback. But I do think that it's still fairly limited. So here's an example of one where the feedback is, while immediate, and I find, again, maybe it's just with Chinese, is that it doesn't know if the problem you have as a learner is that you don't understand the concept or you're just saying it wrong. So my nemesis in Chinese is the word hot. The word hot for Chinese, I know what it is. I can spell it. Every time I have to say it, I'm saying it. And Cora will laugh because it comes up. And if anyone knows Chinese, it's like, I think it's "here" is how you say it. "Here," it's like and I keep saying it, and it'll nothing, and then it'll say it's wrong, and then it'll tell me what it is, and it says "here." It says the exact same thing. I'm like, that's what I said. And so, according to Duolingo, I don't know this word, which is why it keeps coming up. But it's not that I don't know it. It's not. It doesn't tell me how to correct that pronunciation. It doesn't say you need to inflect here. And so there's. It could be frustrating because that whole flashcard practice here, I just don't do it because the third one's always gonna be hot, and then I'm out. It's and I can't get past it. It's like, so I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. It's I don't know.
You just push the "can't speak now" button. You have that option.
Oh my god. The hacks. Yeah, they're
I
a nice
know.
work.
Yeah, let's talk about that. One more thing I do like, Mike, is on my screen right now. One of the things I can do is I'm on level 19 for Spanish, and I can go back and like look at all that I've learned. There is like a nice visual piece to this as I'm scrolling back of like, look how much I've done in all of these days. So I like that aspect of it too, and look how much further I have to go. But I like that aspect of it too, of like look at what you've done, look at what you've learned. It's very visual. I love this path that we go down. Like I can tell what I'm doing and where I'm heading. So I do like that aspect as well.
Yeah. It's like it's that whole idea. Like if I go back to the classroom, is like when students know, like you're starting a unit or something. I found, like, as a teacher, something I like to be able to do was when I would show kids what the trajectory is. Like, oh, hey, students, we're going to be we're moving into our addition subtraction unit, and so we're going to be doing these 4 things over the next 4 weeks or whatever. There is something really helpful for kids to know where they are in the learning, where we're going, and where we've been. And I think this gets it right because it's very visual, and I think that's something teachers can think about how to build into their practice. Because that is something with this, Zach, as I think about what are the aspects of this what does Duolingo get right that could inform our practice as educators?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think another thing I think gets right that I think you have talked a lot about in your professional work, but like in our world, I think what it does is there's enough predictability for when I click the little audio headphones, I know I'm going to listen to a story, right? I know that's going to happen. But there are like 3 different characters that I might hear from, and then I might hear from Oscar, I might hear from, so it's predictable, but it also breaks the script a little bit, right? It's not always the same thing, but I don't have to like overwhelm my cognitive load to engage in the story because I know what's going to happen. I know when it's going to ask me questions.
It's like in classrooms where we want to have we have routines and things, but if you do the same routine every day, it gets boring. But if you vary it, and there's not so many new things that every day you have to learn a new structure. I think it mirrors that really well. There's enough predictability that there's some comfort with enough variation to keep it from being boring, right? That's the sweet spot. Yeah, I like that.
So, Mike, what's it get wrong? Let's be nitpicky a little bit here. Let's talk about what we think this could do better, and also like what implications we have for the math classroom with that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll come right out of the gate with one. The speed. Okay, so you look right here. You probably have this for Chinese too, right? So all of these like little excursions on the side here.
Yep.
Notice how I have 0 stars, 0 stars. I don't do them anymore. Right?
Look at this.
Because
0.
Because here's the thing. You go on here, right? So you got to do these exercises. But as soon as you get into it, so it's loading it. I'm going to eat up all my XP bonuses, I think.
I know.
But I have 2 minutes, right? So already I don't like this because especially for me learning a language, I need time. So let's just jump in and see what I do here. So the word for clean. Well, this is a new word. I know it's that because it's fresh. So I like, okay, I'm fine, right? But now look here at least for Chinese, I have to look at the Hanzi and the pinyin on the top. I've got to translate that. Now below, we've got all these letters mixed up. So even if I look and say, okay, Nuar, I know Nuar's daughter, right? I have to find daughter among all those other words, right? So so then I can go through and sort of get through some of this, but then it'll sometimes flip it where the English is on top and then the Hanzi and the pinyin are on the bottom. So it's like I'm spending all my time hunting and then the time's up. And so I find like the same with math fact fluency drills and stuff. The same thing that gets in the way for kids learning and that it's happening for me. It's frustrating. I find myself shutting down. Core is the same way. When we do this, we just skip those because of the time. If it didn't have a time aspect, I would love those. It's really good practice, but the time piece, I'm out.
I couldn't agree more. I think, and Mike, little hack here while you still have it up. Anytime I get those translation ones, whatever word's capitalized, I know goes first. Like they always capitalize the word that goes up there. So I'm like, you have these little hacks that like actually aren't helping you learn, but they're helping you get the points. And I would say that's number one for me is like it's gamified, which you'd think is a perk, and maybe it is to some sense, but the gamification actually makes me just want to win the game and not learn the language, right? So I want to get the stars. I want to be the top of the league, and I'll do all the hacks to get to that, as opposed to like just trying to really sit down for 10, 15 minutes and learn Spanish a day. I'm trying to like win the game, and I can beat the game, right? And so
Dude.
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, and I find myself, Mike. I'm leaving for Spain tomorrow, and I've been preparing for this for 329 days right now to prepare myself. And the best I've got is like I can ask someone if their dog takes a shower, right? Like I don't quite understand like what I'm learning in here because I don't feel like I'm actually prepared to have a conversation. I feel like I'm prepared to like pick out some certain words, and that's it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I see I'm already out. See, time's up. But here's the thing: is like it's that gamification thing. So I just finished like the diamond tournament, and I really wanted to win it. And so strategically, the best way I could do that is pick the easiest thing and just like basically go through listening exercises and just grind out till I get all the points I need. I would blow through things. So one of the things you could do with Duolingo when it asks you to speak is if you get enough of the words right, they give you credit for it, which on the positive side, you're not getting like all this negative feedback because you got one word wrong. But I've learned that as soon as I see more than one word right, I just hit enter and I don't even read the rest of the sentence. And so because I needed to get those points to win the tournament. And so I realized like there's good parts of gamification and bad. And we see that like you can fall into that trap, which can be really problematic.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's a lesson there for us as math teachers as well. Like, don't over gamify stuff. Like, gamifying things can be helpful, but it's my experience in both Duolingo and the math classroom. It's kind of a surface level help. It doesn't really get at. In this case, I wouldn't call. Well, maybe it's like in math classroom. It's not getting to a deep conceptual understanding. It's kind of getting you just kind of like invested in it a little bit. And so I just think like don't over gamify things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what you brought up, Zach, is the biggest point, which is like, So Duolingo is really exciting to get people started with a language, but people can. I mean, you're at what level? What level are you for Spanish?
19.
Like
19.
19. I mean, that's pretty far in there.
Yeah.
And you're going to Spain and not feeling really confident. And that's
at all.
something that's worth acknowledging is that there's different kinds of learning. So I think metaphorically that like it feels like Duolingo reminds me a lot of like math fact practice or vocabulary practice and things. But it doesn't give you the nuance of like I don't know what each individual symbol means. I know what they mean is a cluster from memorization. So I don't have that deep learning. And so because I'm going to be working in China for a while, like I really want to learn it, I went out and bought these books to kind of work through and go a little deeper. But I will say, I don't know that I would have done that, got those books, if I hadn't been doing Duolingo to get an on-ramp into Chinese. And
Bingo.
it is still fun, right? So I think it's enjoyable, it's easy. There's really good aspects of it, but it's not necessarily the best kind of teaching. It's if you really want to learn it, you need to go deeper. You need to have those kinds of connections. And I think that's where it misses it. But if it's a way to get the door open for people,
Yeah. What
win.
you just said, though, Mike, we say all the time in math class, we want tasks that have a low floor and a high ceiling. I think Duolingo has a low floor and a low ceiling, right? Like easy access, you can get in there, but you're not going deep with this, man. I'm not prepared. Even a year in, I'm not prepared. Yeah. I can order a coffee without sugar and milk. That's about all I can do, and that's going to be really important for me.
Let's hear it.
So, un café sin azúcar y leche, por favor.
Very nice.
And I'm starting every morning off with that, buddy.
Yeah, I'll do. Ni hao. So ni hao ma. Wa jiao Mike. Wa shi mei goren. Wa shi shuxian laosher. And so I just said, hi, hi, how are you? My name's Mike. I'm an American, and I'm a math teacher. A year ago, I was in China working with teachers, and I had no Chinese, just ni hao. That's it. And so there's learning, right? We're learning. It's but we also want to acknowledge that there's things that could be limiting here, and we can, as educators, take things that work in this medium and think about how those things show up in a classroom. And we can also take lessons from things that aren't working and look at our own classrooms, like speed things or disconnection. I think those are like the two big ones for me, and over gamification, like all those incentives that can. You just like if a student gets rewarded for how many problems they work through because they get extra recess time or whatever that is, kids learn certain ways like, I can blow through it by doing this thing and not really making those strong connections because I'm going to get the points or the reward versus like I want to make these strong connections that's going to help me learn this for life. Yeah.
But on the other side, as we wrap this up, like what can we learn about how it motivates us, right? Like how do I have a streak in my classroom, right? Like how do I have my kids come in and be like, I got to do this thing today because I'm going to keep the streak. So I think I think there's a really interesting lesson there for what we can do and how we can learn to use it as a motivator in our math classroom.
Yeah. Now, Zach, just to tee up a future podcast here, and listeners who aren't familiar with Duolingo, they've decided to take a leap into the math space, and so this is fairly new. I know.
I'm so scared, Mike.
I know, right, dude? And so it's Zach and I we're gonna dig into that. We wanted to just kind of tease that out a little bit here, but we'll have a whole other podcast and even an episode on our YouTube channel where we really get into that because. We know what we like about it from a language perspective and from a chess perspective. And did you do any of the music lessons, Zach?
I haven't done the music lessons.
No. But now they're in our turf, right? So it's like now we're going to bring another layer into this. So if you are a Duolingo user and you want to certainly connect with us, you can look up Mike and Cora if you want to find me. Zach, are you just what are you just?
I think I'm Zach Champ. I don't even know what I am. Let's see. No, just Zach Champagne. There you go, right there on the screen.
There you go.
Look at me in my Spain World Cup outfit. I'm looking good, aren't I?
I know. I think Cora's favorite thing is to change our outfits when we work. But definitely look us up. If and also on any of the socials and stuff, you want to jump in the comments and let us know some of your experiences, things that you like about this. It's worth checking out if you've not seen it before. It's, as an educator, just a fun experience. And I'm never going to badmouth anyone who wants to learn, or people that really want to do their best to make these experiences powerful. Because I do think they work really hard to make this a positive experience.
Yeah.
And I think there's more I like about it than I don't like about it. And yeah,
Co-sign.
but let's see how they do with math, because I'm not as hopeful.
You can trust that we will be hypercritical as expected.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time on the Educators Mathcast. Take care.